got a different crew tonight because we're doing something a little bit different. So feel free to introduce yourselves, say hi, and whatever. I think some of the faces have already been on Getting Dicey before. Brad, we've got Brad from Faderweisen. Hi. Okay. This is the quality of communication we're going to have tonight. This is going to be a fantastic, fantastic session.
In space, no one can hear you talk at all.
Yeah. We've got Reece, who's joining us as well from the old crew. You know his face. Hi, Reece.
Hello,
Hi.
it's my face.
We have Jolene. Hi, Jolene.
Hey, how you doing?
Are you on a podcast or a stream that we can promote, or do you just play D&D and other RPGs just for the fun of it?
I just play for fun.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You don't know
Thank you for your patience.
You don't know the power and excitement of having 7 people tune in and watch. It's very exciting.
Shout out to the 7.
Hell yeah.
Is one of them me?
And I think another one is probably Reece as well. So 5 people. That's good. And then Christian, from our Discord, also known as Yesterday's Model. You've done some live stuff with the charity streams and stuff, is that right?
Yeah, I was in the 2023 Yes And at midnight, if anyone was there. It was good fun, but otherwise I don't have any streams or what have you.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I play for fun as well.
Yeah, well, that's the best way to play. I don't know what it's like to play for fun anymore. No, that's not true. I had a good session of a game system that I can never remember the name of at Christian's place just recently. Which was awesome.
Simbaroom by Free League as well. Which
was my introduction to Free League. And is that year 0 for the system, or is that a different?
No, that's most of the Free League games are year 0, but Simbaroom is one of the few that isn't.
Right. So what we're playing tonight, what we're going to attempt to play tonight is we're going to try and learn Alien RPG. I have been stressing out over how absolutely insane with rules this is. And it feels like it throws how I normally play D&D, like it just drop kicks it out the window, basically. Instead of just being free form with whatever you want to do and just having fun with it. And, now roll the dice, it feels very, very rigid. And I don't know how good or bad that's going to be. And as long as we're going to figure it out. We're going to have a session. We're going to figure it out. It might take a few sessions to get through the story that we're going to be playing. But I don't know if I like the system yet. That's why I'm really interested to have a play.
Can you just?
I think that would probably be the best way to play it. Would be to understand the rules and then be like, all right, now we know what we can get rid of and we can kind of free flow a bit more. But this will make way more sense very soon as we get into it. But yes, thank you to everyone in the Twitch chat. Some familiar faces there with Lyndon Hood, Squished, Drop Shadow, all there to say hi. Thank you so much. Looks like we've got a few people. We've got Yesterday's Model in there as well. Oh wait, we've got okay. That's another familiar face. Okay.
Get out of the chat.
There may be spoilers. I don't know how this is going to work. There could be spoilers showing up. Also, I don't have the usual layout in store for our stream at the moment. So if our faces get a little lower res, it's because I'm doing just as much as I can with Discord in a very small space on my desk. But you guys are going to see it just fine, the players. So it'll be good. So all of you hopefully have rolled 20 open right now.
Mm-hmm. I do.
Okay, good.
Roger.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Yep.
Good. This is going to be a really weird one to start on. Let's just change it over so we can get a better view for the viewers and shrink the videos down to size. Okay. Cool. What we're playing is Chariot of the Gods, part of the Alien role-playing game. Any questions so far? Just, we're good? Good.
Where could someone pick up a copy of this if they wanted one for free, for instance?
That is actually a great moment to mention that we are giving away like 3 copies of the starter kit, or the starter set. So over the next, I don't know, like 3, it could take 3 weeks to play this. The Chariot of the God book says this scenario takes about 4 to 5 hours, and after some research, it looks like it can take 20. So we'll see.
For adjacent.
Yeah. So I think it really depends on. I think if you stick to the rules, maybe it's a lot faster. If you just like, no, the rules say we can't do this. Anyway, we'll give one away to someone in the live chat probably next week. We'll give one away to one of our YouTube subscribers that comments on any one of the videos in this series that we're making. And we will give a third one away to just one of our Patreon supporters. So if you're on the early bird tier on our Patreon, you'll instantly go on the draw to win one of the 3 copies. And just so you know, we've even already got Garbage. One of our viewers is just a bot, so I'm just going to ban that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Oh no, that was for me.
Okay. Well, at least that wasn't. Was it you? Right. It could have just been you. Okay. All right. Okay. So I think the best place to start at is going to be like characters, like checking what characters we would like to play as. I have set up a screen showing the different characters.
Ooh.
These are the crew aboard the USCSS Cronus, which is the ship that you will be starting this campaign on. Let me just.
These people part of Rico's Roughnecks? I'm really mixing my genres and things here.
I don't know what Rigo's Roughnecks are, so no.
What?
Is that Starship Troopers?
Yeah.
Right,
nice.
right. Okay, I know Starship Troopers.
Bigos, Bogos. Words.
So I'm just having, there's like a way that they're all like, hey, you should probably try and start it this very specific way. So I just want to make sure that we can follow it as closely as possible. You know what? I've got something else. This could be a little painful just to start off with, but we'll get there.
And did you say it was a CSS Cronus?
Something like that. We can call it the CSS Cronus.
Nice.
I love the art for this book.
The art is absolutely amazing. The whole book is fantastic. So,
yeah, that's something that Free League does really well. Is just gorgeous books that you just want to look at, even if you never play the game.
Which is my
all the words.
Okay, all right, here we go. So, what we have is the surnames and the ranks of each of the characters that you can see there. So you've got Officer Miller. You've got the pilot is Davis. Rye the roughneck, and Cham the roughneck, and then Wilson the company agent. So each of these characters come with like who they're sort of friends with and who they might be rivals with. They each come with like a little personal object, sort of like a good luck charm. So I guess if there's a specific character or a role that you like the sound of, we can just assign you the character, and I'll take whoever's left over. They will become an NPC that I'll control. So you either got like I don't know how much you guys know about the alien world, but the ship that you're on, did I say it was the Cronus? It's the Montero.
CSS Cronus.
No, sorry, it's the USCSS Montero, I should say, the Montero. Has gone out to do something for a company called Wayland Yutani, and Wilson is kind of like the only company man. He's part of the company. He's overseeing what this journey was. And then you've got obviously the officer in charge of the ship, you've got the pilot, and then a couple of roughnecks that have helped make this journey what it is. Bring in the things that needed to be brought in. In this case, it was a bunch of hazardous material that sort of ferments itself into helium-3, which is very, very expensive. It's a good haul for Weyland-Yutani. So, does anyone have a sort of a feel with a character they might want to go with? You feel free to like gender swap if you want to gender swap the characters as well. That's totally fine. If you wanted Wilson to be a woman or Miller to be a guy, you're welcome to make whatever changes you want. All I say is that we keep like names and roles. So I'm just going to throw. Brad.
Sorry to jump right in there. I used to play D&D as a goblin named Cham, a goblin bard. So I'll go with Cham. I'm already au pair with the name.
Okay. It was destined.
It was destiny.
Yeah.
I will put
Destiny Cham.
Destiny Cham.
That's his name.
And his voice will be like this.
Space helium.
I'm a roughneck.
Helium-3. Helium-3.
He's been.
Have you been in the helium-3 again, Cham?
No.
You have.
How dare you say that? Fight me.
I'm going to regret this.
Helium-3's nuts.
This is going to be the most tense alien film out of all of the alien films, I think, we're going to create. Brad, I've added to your journal Lyran Cham, their character sheet. So you should be able to bring up Cham's character sheet, and I'll explain some of those things soon enough.
Sweet.
You mentioned they all had little trinkets that they're attached to. For any of them, is the trinket a pulse rifle, for instance?
No.
Okay, then.
No one has.
Then I'm pretty easy.
Tucked away in their top pocket. But Christian, is there one that's sort of standing out for you?
I think it'll probably all be fun, and I'm going into it with a really open mind, learning the system, learning the rules. I'm happy to roll a 1d4 even.
Oh, best roll.
Do whatever you want to do.
Is it /R in Roll20?
Yep.
Yeah. /R 1d4. And we'll just go left to right, top to bottom.
Okay.
2, Davis.
The pilot. All right. So Leah Davis, but like I said, you're welcome to gender swap or keep Leah as is. Let me give that to you. In journal. Cool. And can be edited and controlled by. All right. Jolene, are there any that is piquing your interest? I'm going to assume you're on mute.
Which one looks like they're going to at least die last?
Okay, just speaking of that, there is a one-hit kill on most of the creatures in this game. If they roll there's like a randomizer for what attack they have, and if they have that attack and they're successful with that attack, literally say goodbye to your character. It's gone. Okay, so that's the kind of, so don't get like role play, embody your character, get to like them, but don't get to like attach to them. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like a napkin from McDonald's.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. My napkin. I'm gonna do the roll thing as well.
All right. So
that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go. Roll. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like I'm Rye the roughneck.
Okay.
I get a hat.
Let's have a look here. Rye, Kayla Rye, the roughneck. Let's give that to you as well. And so you'll find that the little buttons across the top of the chat area, there's one called Journal, and you will soon see Rye in there. Okay.
Very good.
Cool. That should be in there now. Now, Reece, did you want the corporate man or the officer in charge of the Montero?
I think I might go with the corporate man. He's got a cheeky little smile.
Mitch.
What's up?
Okay.
So yeah, I'll go with Wilson, the company agent.
John J.
Stitches.
Wilson.
All right.
Let me just give that to you as well. Which leaves myself playing Officer Miller. All right, so that should be showing up in yours now, and I will just assign Miller to me. Here we go. Okay, let's take a quick look. Obviously, I don't know how many different character sheets you guys are used to looking at in your lifetime of playing these games, but this one is quite different. So if you click on your character and bring it up, you can kind of get a full overlay of what your character is, their name, their career in the middle. You can detail their appearance if you wanted to put something in there. Each character has their own talent, which is in the top right. And so you want to make yourself aware of these like little talents. So for example, Vanessa Miller, as like the officer in charge, her talent is to pull rank, and I can just use my command skill to order someone, whether it's a playable character or an NPC. I can just, as long as they're on the same organization as I am, I can order them and force them to follow my orders, even if they don't want to. So I roll against their manipulation score, and if I get more successes, then they will do what I tell them. I've pulled rank. So everyone will have some kind of talent, free to use. I think some of them are like, you can only use this once a game. So just, make yourself a bit more aware of it.
Whole game, not just like a...
well, some of them will be like per act.
Oh no, sorry, not game, like once a session or once a fight.
Right. So it'll depend. It might be a scene. It might be an act. So these kind of cinematic plays for Alien is broken up into 3 acts. And there are specific points where we will go, all right, Act 1 has come to a close, and there's a few things we need to do, and then Act 2 begins. So there'll be some traits that will be, you can use it once per act. So it'll totally depend on what your talent is. On the left-hand side, there's personal agenda and relationships. Personal agenda we'll get to very soon. You're each going to get delivered a card into Roll20, and that card is going to tell you what your character's personal agenda is. Don't tell anyone what it is, and at the you'll get a new personal agenda each act. Some of you might get more than one card, and you just don't want to let anyone know what it is that you've got. At the end of every act, I decide how well you, whether or not you acted on your agenda or not, and you can earn like story points. And story points basically means you can spend them to just succeed on a roll at any point. It's kind of like inspiration, right? So you'll get your personal agenda cards pretty soon. Relationships, they'll be listed here who your character thinks is their buddy and who they think is their rival. That's purely there for you and your roleplay. So I don't know how we're going to make sure we remember who's who, just so you can sort of... can we go through the characters' names? So what's everybody got? So I'm Miller. If you've got Miller in your buddy or rival, you know how to act towards Miller. That's me. We've got Cham, I think, is Brad.
Yep. My buddy is Rye.
Wilson is Reece. Is that right? Yeah. Kayla Rye was... Who was that?
Me.
That was Jolene. Okay, Kayla Rye. And then Leah Davis.
Cam,
so Davis
buddy, old pal.
That's me.
is Christian. Okay. Underneath that, you've got stress level. As different things happen within the game, I will be asking you to add like a stress level, 1 point to your stress level. You can just click the little box and it'll add it on. And what that does is it adds stress dice to your roll. Stress dice is kind of like adrenaline. It gives you more dice to roll with, which means you have more chances to succeed. But if you roll a 1 on those stress dice and only on those stress dice, even if you only get 1 and 5 successes, you fail your roll. So the more stress there is, the higher chance for both succeeding and failing. There's also push it. If you fail a roll, you can push it, which we'll go over later as well. And that's where stress gets built up as well. There's multiple different ways that stress can be built up. Underneath that is health. Whatever your strength is how much health you have. So my character's got strength of 4, which is in the middle, the very, very middle. You've kind of got strength, wits, empathy, and agility. Those are your main kind of traits. And so 4 strength, 4 health. I noticed some of you have like 2. So you're going to be very squishy.
Yeah.
That could be very dangerous. Critical injuries, radiation. I don't know if we're going to be dealing too much with radiation, but again, you click that off and bad things happen the more radiation you get. Critical injuries happen when you're broken. Broken is the equivalent of being in a down state. So you don't really die. You don't go into a death state and then roll and try and get 3 successes. You're in a down state. You can't become broken. If someone attacks you when you're broken, you can get critical injuries. One of those critical injuries, actually a few of those critical injuries, is death. So depending on how it's rolled, you could just go from being standing into a broken state into die. Just gone.
Oh my gosh.
Conditions, we've got starving, dehydrated, exhausted, and freezing. They do a bunch of different things. For this scenario, we're all starting in a dehydrated state because we're all coming out of cryo sleep. And I'll
nice.
talk about what that means later. Consumables, we'll worry about that when we need to worry about that. Down the right-hand side, experience points. At the end of every session, we can ask some questions about what we did, and you can earn experience points. And you can spend those experience points buying new talents and stuff and skills and stuff. Story points, again, that depends on how well you play your personal agenda. Tiny items is just inventory for small things. Signature item will be personal to your character. For Vanessa, for my character Miller.
Excuse me.
She's got Oh, what's that?
I just saw my signature item.
What have you got? What have you? No.
Huh?
What is?
It's a worn photo of my brother.
So
good.
Why is it so worn?
Because I keep slapping it every time that he says something smart. I'll just reach over and pull one off the wall.
So your signature item, if you interact with it, you can remove a point of stress. So, but you can only do that once per act, I believe. I'll have to check that, but I think it's once per act. So kind of like just as long as you role play it, you can't just be like, oh yeah, I've got a thing, so just give it a quick rub or whatever. I want to.
It helps me relieve stress.
Then there's gear and armor and encumbrance and weapons. That will come into play more when we find gear and weapons and armor. Armor is important because if someone rolls an attack on you, if it has to try and get through your armor first before it can do damage. So while you may only have 2 points of health, you may have like armor of 4 or 5. So it's got to get through that armor first. In the middle is kind of all of your skills, all of your D&D style skills, right? So they're all based around 4 things: strength, wits, empathy, and agility. I won't go into all of the individual ones, but they all are for very specific things, and most of them should be pretty obvious just by reading their names. What happens is if I ask you to roll like a strength roll, you just click strength, and it will be that number of dice will be rolled, right? If I ask you to roll a heavy machinery roll, it will add the 2 numbers together. Whatever you've got on heavy machinery and whatever you've got on strength, it'll add those 2 together and roll that number of dice. So there'll be some skills that you have a big fat 0 on, which means you may not be the best person for the job. I think that's it for the character sheets. I think it's quite a bit of information there. Like I said, it's a whole new system. But what we can do...
Can I give a test roll?
Oh, yeah, please. And so you can see how they look in the chat as well.
Oh, it's also got dice to add, subtract.
Yeah, so that's another thing. So at certain points, it may not be as simple as just hitting that dice roll. I may let you know that it's going to be a very hard thing to roll, and so there's like put a -2 in there. Or it might be very easy, and I'll give you 2 extra bonus dice. So heavy machinery, a lot of 2s, 3, 5, 2s, 3s, 0 successes. What you're looking for on any dice roll is at least a single 6, or as you'll see in the dice roller, it's kind of like a little target or a hot cross
I got
button.
one.
So as soon as you win, as soon as you get one success, that's it. You've succeeded on the roll. If you get more than one, there's a bunch of different things that we can do that we can talk about when it happens. But in your journal, I've given you like access to a little handout called skills. And it lets, basically, if you do a roll like for that heavy machinery roll that Leah Davis just rolled, if she had had 2 successes, you could use that second success to do what's called a stunt. And that gives you a list of things that you can do with that extra point. It might be as simple as just like you show off while doing it. It lets you just build up a little bit more, flavor to it. Someone in the chat just asking if there's going to be a recording. Yeah, it'll be up on our YouTube. So it'll be there in a week's time. If you're a Patreon, you'll get it tomorrow. I think that's probably enough to get started, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's die in space.
Oh, did we get the personal agendas now? Or later?
What I'll do is I'll give you the scenario. I'll show you the map of where we're going to be starting off. And then we'll talk about personal agendas as you all wake up out of cryo sleep.
My personal agenda is being dehydrated.
Yep.
Yeah.
My to-do list, be dehydrated.
You've seen the card already. Damn it.
I'm quite contrary, so I'm all about hydration. Get out of my way. I'm headed for that water fountain.
Water? I hardly know her.
Oh, no.
It begins.
Look, to be fair, that had to happen. I was waiting for that.
I need to pass this cup through the screen to Brad of here to tell dad jokes.
All right, so you are space truckers on the star freighter UC. No, I already got that wrong. USCSS Montero running the Gauntlet, the trade route between Anchor Point Station and the frontier. Your ship's cargo hold is packed with dozens of tanks of dangerous tritium gas that is in the process of decaying into extremely profitable helium-3. Usually cargoes such as these are towed in massive tanker modules that transport much higher concentrations, safer distances from a freight hauler. The Montero isn't really rated as a commercial towing vehicle, and it's being used under a special order for the Weyland-Yutani corporate account on a place called Sutter's World. And Sutter's World is this newly established frontier colony. While the trip so far has been fairly routine, the Montero's sensors developed a little glitch in them before you left Anchor Point, and sporadically pinged contact with a sensor reflection before you activated the displacement drive and went into FTL travel. Your cargo run so far has been without incident. Now you are just awakening from hypersleep, ready to deliver your goods to the colony on Sutter's World. All right, so let's take a quick look at the ship that you're all aboard. Do you guys all see that?
Yep.
Yeah, looks cool.
Okay.
This is my baby.
How do I... roll 20 question. How do I get rid of everyone's giant squares that are taking up most of my screen?
Yeah, cool. Go to the My Settings and then go to Audio and Video.
Yep.
And under Video Display, just change Player Video Avatar Size to Names Only.
Yep. Wicked.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All good. So this is kind of the ship that you're stationed upon. The majority of what we're going to be seeing, not all of it, but the majority is going to be on what you see mapped there. I'm not using any of the Roll20's fancy dynamic lighting or anything because you guys all know this ship incredibly well. And it'll be, I don't think in general we'll use dynamic lighting because there'll be valid reasons moving forward. So let's look now, Christian, we will look at the personal agendas. So I have access to cards, of which this might take a little while because it's very finicky and very small. So I have to kind of click on each one to figure out which is which. So Rye. Kayla Rye? That is Christian, is it? Oh, no, that's Jolene.
I'm Davis.
Me.
Jolene, you should, near your name at the bottom of Roll20 now, see a little card with a little 1 on it. You should be able to click that and then click on it again to make it even bigger. And I'm just going to give each of you, these are just for you. So I just found my one. I'll just give to me. There's a few that I need to just dole out for different people. If you end up with more than one, that's okay. That makes total sense. Reece, you're Wilson, is that right?
That's right.
You're just so full of agenda.
All right, I got another one for there. So again, make sure you keep these to yourself. It'll be apparent for some of you why you're keeping it to yourself. Cham, he had too good of a story. I'm not going to forget that Brad is Cham.
Core memory is unlocked.
Davis, sweet. You've even added it to your Roll20. That definitely makes it nice and easy.
Is that Assassin's Creed reference?
Inside Out.
Ah, so close.
The two franchises get mixed up all the time. So yeah.
Yeah.
Just depends how you play Assassin's Creed.
Exactly.
I play it Inside Out, weirdly enough. Okay,
Play the opponents Inside Out.
I think everybody has exactly the right amount of cards that they should be getting. So take a look over your personal agenda, get to know it. If you've got any questions, I think maybe Discord to me personally. If there's something that you don't understand about yours, message me on Discord and I can talk to you about that. But I hope
Mine's absolutely perfect.
Yeah, I want mine.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I think there's a few things I need to look over, even with my ones. But the viewers will get a chance to have a quick look at mine, which I'm just bringing up now so I can make sure that I've got it. Okay.
Kill all the players.
Ingest the helium.
You just spend the next 6 hours ingesting helium. Well, that's a weird way to spend the act, but I'm ready for that challenge. Okay. Have you guys read and understood your personal agendas?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I think that means that we're in a great place to get started then. Let me... Okay, so yeah, each of the characters one by one are slowly sort of waking up out of their cryopods, dressed in whatever attire it was that they would put themselves in before the long haul, the flight back towards Sutter's World. Let me just put some sounds on, just to set the ambience here. Okay. I'd say that Miller's probably set herself up to be as the officer of the ship. I'm just going to say that she's probably set herself up to wake up maybe just a minute or two before the others, just so she can get prepared. And I'd probably go as far as to say that maybe there was an agreement between her and Wilson, being the company man, that he wants to make sure that he's sort of awake at the same time. And so Wilson and Miller's cryopods sort of vent themselves and open up, and Wilson, you're just so dry. It's every single time you go on one of these cryo sleeps across the frontier that you kind of hate it. But you've woken up, and I think what's mainly on your mind is that want of making sure everything is right, everything's in place.
Yeah, Wilson's got that white film on his tongue. Like all the saliva over a past few months has just solidified into a bit of a tacky crust. He doesn't enjoy it, tries to scrape away at his teeth a bit. I guess here we are.
Yeah, Miller is almost ignoring you completely as she's just going about the different cryopods, making sure and analyzing all the different things, all the little beeps and bloops and lights flashing off and on in this perfectly white cylindrical room, going from cryopod to cryopod and just checking stats and for making sure everyone is alive and well. And one by one, Cham, your cryopod opens, and Davis's cryopod opens up as well, with Rye's being the last vent and open up. And I think Miller's just going to spend some time making notes about everyone dehydrated. Yeah, that's perfect. That's spot on.
Does anybody else have the white tongue film?
Yeah.
Are you keeping it, or can I have it? Thank you.
Just hands
Yeah,
it.
that bit detached pretty successfully, so
Peels it off in one layer and hands it over.
like a tongue fingerprint.
Space cheese.
Yeah.
Spees.
Spees.
Everyone sleep okay? Like, I dreamt of pineapple. I don't know why, but for years it felt like just pineapples.
You're all like devastatingly like hungry as well. So there's just obviously this dehydration. You don't know how long you've been in there, but one of the after effects of travel is that there's just like you've been burning as little calories as possible while being frozen, but there's enough energy that's gone through you that means that you're all incredibly hungry. And Miller's making sure that everyone's okay. Team, I'm just going to get to the galley. Let's meet there and debrief. We've got to get this helium-3 delivered as soon as possible.
Miller, you're right, but I'd just like to mention to everyone, the company has paid for food and beverage for the entire crew for the rest of the trip. So you guys can enjoy that food and drink on the company. Like, we thought you'd be hungry, so if you follow Miller, I'm sure she's got something just right for you. So
Whilst
thank you.
Whilst
everyone.
all this lovely talking has been going on, Rye has been like stretching, cracking her neck, scratching, and is just like stumbling down the hallway to the mess center, because this is what happens every long haul flight. And it's like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. Yup. Okay.
Wait for me, buddy.
And I chase her down the hall towards the galley.
It's like
Very
stumble.
spry for a dehydrated. Are you? No, we're all humans. That all makes sense.
We've got a goblin in the corner, but
He's a spoblin.
in the mess hall, in the galley, I should say, there are food and drink sort of machines available. Normally, these can, cost maybe like $10 for a prefab meal, $5 for a protein drink of bug juice, as it's affectionately called. But Wilson has claimed that it's all open, and Miller's surprised. Like, are you sure that the company's going to be okay with us venturing in? I mean, we're all going to be getting a pretty hefty pay from this.
Well, just you'll understand in a minute. But let's get them all ready to go. And like you say, we've got some updates to go for. I had a old update on the old space outlook, and that's gonna be it's gonna be one of those ones.
Space outlook is looking good, would you say, Miller?
Well, you've travelled with me before. How often have I given out free food and drink? All the time, you might say, because I'm such a helpful guy. I hear you. But yeah, so once they're all eaten, we'll have to do a debriefing.
Well, look, it's your ass on the line, so I'm happy to spend your space bucks, to be honest.
Thank you.
With dehydration, by the way. So while you're dehydrated, we cannot recover or relieve health or stress. So while in a dehydrated state, it's obviously best to try and get it gone as soon as possible. Every shift you suffer 1 point of damage and your stress levels increase if you do not fix your dehydration. A shift is about a 6-hour period. So if you go 6 hours without it, you're going to start feeling the effects of it. As soon as you drink, the above effects all wear off within 1 shift. So it also takes 1 shift to get rid of dehydration. As long as we drink something. And this machine, this food and drink machine in the end, sort of like tucked away next to the seating, is a machine just full of food and drink. And Miller has grabbed whatever token that Wilson is handing out and is going straight to the machine to grab herself I'll make it available to you guys to show you what is in the machine, as well as all of the effects that it might have on your body. Miller is grabbing the most expensive thing she can, which is one of the colony specialty meals. Can range anywhere between $20 to $300. And she's picking what she thinks is the nicest one. And I can add that. Actually, well, she's going to devour it anyway, so it won't add to her food supply right now because she is just going to ingest it all. And she's just sitting down, scoffing it. She's throwing the thing back towards Wilson with a bit of a smirk on her face as she cracks open the lid of this specialty meal and just enjoys every moment of the smells coming from it. This is the best meal she would have eaten in possibly like a year.
Wilson's going to take his token back and make a mental note and try and pleasantly smile. Yum, right? Anyway, team, get up when everyone's got something. We'll got a bit of news for you. And he'll pass his token off onto Rye.
Yeah, Davis is going to wander in kind of like a bit bleary-eyed, coughing a bunch. Oh, I don't know about you guys, but these trips, it always feels so dry afterwards, or like got something in my throat. But there's a coffee? Is there coffee already?
And Miller's like pointing towards the machine, her cheeks full.
Token. Thank you.
Enjoy.
Lloyd.
Gets a specialty meal as well and a coffee.
Everyone's just
right up to the brim on the coffee, like right up there.
Miller
Puts the token down by the machine, sits down.
Miller sees your selection. She gives you like a thumbs up and sort of waves you over, making space next to her for Davis.
Yeah. Sees Miller also has the specialty meal, puts out a little fist bump. Yep. Starts tucking in.
Rye is looking a little suspicious at the officers. It's like, you're saying these meals are free? Like free? Like you're not going to charge me later?
The words came out of my mouth, and you know me, got a mouth on my face. So, enjoy.
It's one of your better quality.
The surgeon did a good job, I reckon. No more of the old side mouth. Got so many insults over that as a kid. But yeah.
I think the group sort of take a seat at the table and all tucking away. They've all picked up the colony specialty meals. Whether or not Wilson was, there's been like a wide variety. Some of them, I think, maybe picked a slightly smaller one because they were unsure. But I think a couple of them have picked the larger size ones, and they're just very much enjoying themselves. I think this is a really good chance for us to explain our roles. I think the characters will all know the roles here, but Miller tries to run like a bit of a tight ship. She wants to do the right thing by Wayland Yutani, so bringing on this corp corporate guy. It was the thing that had to be done, really, because of what it was kind of like a thing that we wouldn't normally do. The Montero wouldn't normally be done used for a task like this, but obviously it was very important. We've come out of cryosleep. We're right there at Sutter's world now, so it's just a matter of delivering this helium-3, getting paid, and then it's back home. And she couldn't have done it without the pilot, Davis.
Really couldn't. And again, just this is a job. Miller seems okay, actually. Wilson is Wilson. The other two, don't really deal with them. I'm at the front where the action happens, so yeah, the sooner we get this done, the better, really. This is not a fun ship.
It's a very nice ship. It's very white. Everything.
It works.
Everything on the interior is incredibly white. But we're all very aware that down in the cargo bay is this very volatile substance. So having a good pilot for this job is necessary. Anything that goes wrong, this whole ship, gone. All right, I think Miller finishes up, and she's just going to get back to Judy, to her duties, and figure out exactly why there hasn't been any kind of.
As Miss Miller stands up, Wilson's just going to step up and just grab one of the cutleries and ding it together. All right, everyone.
It's got a knife.
It's all right. Put the knife down.
Okay.
Appreciate
It's
you
okay.
all eating the quality food. It surprised me, to be honest, but I know this crew, and it's quality. It's food quality. I get to let you know. We've had a priority order come in, and when I woke up, it's the first thing on my little space tablet to look at, and you'll be happy to hear that it's order number 966. Of all the different orders you could get, you want it to be pretty close to 1,000. 966 is pretty good. What we're going to do...
Miller's getting really frustrated with you rambling, and she's just like, what is it?
Yeah, I know, Miller. You're in the 900s is a good range.
Just, what's the priority?
So, we're on the USS Montero, right? And you think we'll just go straight to Sutter's World to deliver this cargo, but we're in for a treat. Just like the treat that you ate. The Cronus. You guys might have heard about this in high school. It's the science ship. They've actually located it. And they've assigned us the honor to go and suss it out. So prior to us delivering this fuel to Sutter's World, we're going to stop in at the Cronus and make sure that everything is all tickety-boo. It's been 73 years, so we're probably just going to pick up the data, and we should be good from there. So,
And they're paying us for this detour, which I'm assuming will take more time
with our
and
volatile
more effort.
cargo.
Yeah. So, I like coming out in the field with you guys. It's a distance from my office, and I said to them, "Send me out. Don't worry about that HR case. Send me to the field. We can get this done." And I knew you guys were on a spaceship, so I figured, let's do it. Let's go.
What HR case? Let's dig into that for an hour or two.
Oh, let me tell you.
Tell him, Cham. You tell him.
There is this... Oh, what I'll do, let's get to the Cronus first, and then our data points are going to look all spiffy like we did exactly what the old Wayland Yutani wanted, and then I can regale you.
Slurping the coffee really loudly.
Yeah. Caffeine, piloting, I'm with you.
Hey, Mr. HR, I want all of this in writing. I want the extra pay for the extra hours. I want the danger money. We don't know what's on this stupid ship. Come on. All of it in writing right now.
That seems reasonable to me. I
Send
like
it straight
writing
to my
myself.
Outlook.
I do have the order 966 on my tab, so I can forge you guys a copy if you want. There is the old privacy regulations thing that you'll have to agree to before you can read the full order, but you can agree to that terms and conditions as standard Wayland policy, and we can get straight to it. What do you guys think? Miller, you know this is a decent opportunity, so
I think the crew knows that like Miller is very much. She agrees with the kind of Wayland-Yutani way of doing things. She's very much a believer of the organization, and she sighs. It's like, I mean, yeah, but aren't we like right next to Sud as well? Can't we just deliver that before we head off?
It seems reasonable. If it was like a 140 order, 230 in that range, I might have rebutted a bit of the order. But 966. Oh, this is a career maker, so I think we need to head to that Kronos a la pronto. That's Spanish for zoom zoom.
Okay, well, I believe we were brought out of cryo sleep like right within the communication range of Sutter's world. So, and she turns to Davis. Shouldn't we have received some sort of communications from them by now?
I mean, that makes sense. I can go and check.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm just assuming you're done there, Wilson.
Hey, I'm not the pilot guy. If you want to do the pilot things, by all means.
Yeah, she's already walking. Also reaches into a pocket, pulls out a little piece of card, and it says, "Dace, since WY has screwed me over," and she just puts a little 0. Puts that back in her pocket.
I think,
and we'll head to the bridge.
Miller is like puts down her utensils and is like hot on your heels behind you. Is any of the characters on your character sheet? Are any of you good at comm tech? That's kind of like utilizing the comm arrays and radio systems.
No, very not.
No, me neither. Okay.
Oh, I'm not bad.
Oh yeah. Okay, but I think you'd be known as the comms person, and if you've got some points in there. As Miller's out the door and notices Rye is still sort of seated at the table eating, she just calls out, "Rye, now!"
She does not break eye contact, and she just sits there drinking her coffee. And then puts it down. We'll move. Makes like a sandwich with the leftovers and just crams it in her mouth and goes off.
Cool. It's a pretty quick walk to the bridge. It looks like it's only a few meters away from where we were all sitting to anyway. And this area has all been lit up. I think you've all got like fresh in your memories. Everything's sort of shutting down into minimal sort of systems just before bouncing into faster than light and being crammed into the cryopods. But it's all brilliantly lit up as all the systems came back online, thanks with the cryo sleep. And Miller finds herself sort of standing, I think, just in the middle of the bridge overlooking it. How about the rest of you?
Well, Davis is going to sit down and, at the steering console and just like kind of brush her hands across the console, reacquaint herself with the Montero briefly, and then start flicking through some dials, just making sure the systems are going and our fuel is right to get through, and now that we have to make this detour that we've got a bit of extra fuel left, and that's all hunky-dory.
Okay.
Cham's just trying to stay out of the way. He doesn't do any of the smart stuff, so he doesn't, look at monitors or do any comms, or he's a strong boy, and that's like he's very one-dimensional. She's like, I am just here to be tough.
What has
Cham
done on board the Montero? What are some of the things that he'd be known for on board the Montero?
Every time somebody says, "Hey, I need to lift the thing," Cham is the one who lifts the thing. I'm like, you could replace me with like a forklift or something, but I can get around corners a bit easier than a forklift.
And then when there's a big golden cube up in the warehouse with a question mark on it and we can't quite reach it, we send him to get it down, punch it for us.
Yeah, one time I actually did that by standing on a forklift.
We do have the
Teamwork.
forklift, Cham. We do actually have the forklift.
It was my name in high school.
Davis, you're sort of flicking through some of the systems, and you're looking to hail just the automated systems to hail Sutter's World, and there's just no return ping from their beacon tower.
Tap, tap, tap. Try it again.
Just nothing. Rye, can you try and contact them? Do what you do. Work your wonders with the comms.
Roll dice.
Yeah, what we're gonna do?
Big eye roll, flops into a chair, is like, crack some fingers. Right.
Give
roll.
us a Comtech roll. First roll.
First roll, submit. That's a lot of dice.
There's a lot of
One
dice.
success.
All we needed was one success, and you've got it. You're sending through some of your standard calls. I don't know if you want to. There you go, just like that. And you're not getting any responses either, and you're flicking through navigation star charts, and it dawns on you why we're not hearing back from Sutter's World. We're not hearing anything from them because it looks like we're nowhere near Sutter's World. Wherever it was that we were told we were going to be traveling to, we're out seemingly in the middle of nowhere, just deep space between stars.
I relay this all to the pilot.
Yo,
It's like-
wait, what?
Yeah, congratulations. We're in Corp Town again. Again. Wrong directions. Wrong wake up space.
Miller just
I'm
says,
gonna need overtime. Like surreal amounts of overtime for this. Every time.
This was all fine before we went under. Miller, can you check with Mother?
Miller just like rotates on the spot and just eyes up Wilson.
Wilson's walking in with a tub of gruel, like the cheapest shit from the machine possible. Really forcing it down. How'd the piloting go with the zoom zoom?
Well, we're in the middle of nowhere, Wilson.
Space,
No.
yeah, cool.
No, not cool. We were meant to be landing in Sutter's World in the next few hours, and we're nowhere near. We're in the middle of nowhere. We're in deep space, and is this to do with this order? Is this what's happened?
Wilson will bring up his tablet again.
Are you going to finish that gruel?
Like, there's no way I could have read this before we went under, so I don't know. Did you space the ship in the right direction, Mr. Davis?
Miss, and yes.
Mm.
It was fine when we were... She reaches into her pocket, pulls out that card, puts -50 on the number, and puts it back in the pocket.
Well, I don't...
It doesn't it just seem a bit too convenient that we were going in the right direction, and now you're lovely 966.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Oh, I hate that I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
966.
Okay, look, isn't it just maybe too convenient that we end up where your 966 wants us?
Just gonna eat this gruel.
You can totally have the rest. Like, I ate the middle bit, but the edges around, where the heat comes in, that's all you, Cham. So, you can just chew it a lot, though, before you swallow, because
Miller is just like furious with this conversation that's taking place, and she's storming out to go do exactly what Davis asked, and that was speak to the MUTHUR system on board, which is also known as Mother, to find out if there's any information that she can garner from Mother.
Christian, is this Mother like back to the corporate office something?
Do the what?
Is this Mother system, is this linked to Wayland Yutani, or is
It's a Wayland Yutani system, but I don't believe it has like communication with other systems, just because of how big space is, right? So it would have picked up anytime it gets near other Wayland Yutani systems. There's probably some sort of information that is bounce between them. I'm probably going well off lore on what Mother is here, so feel free to correct me if people know a bit more about the lore side of things.
I mean, for what it's worth, I think in one of the Alien movies, because I watched them over Christmas, fantastically. Nice. There is someone tries to access Mother, and then it's like, oh, this is locked for a specific person.
Yeah.
So, if you need to be covert, then if you need to be a backstabbing corporate son of a gun.
yeah. So yeah, Miller heads over into the Mother room, and she starts sort of like tapping away, trying to figure out what's going up, and you can hear some sort of frustration from the terminal. A lot of typing, a lot of whirring of ticker tape and stuff. The system's being used.
Space tape.
And
okay.
Vape.
Wilson's gonna step into the room. All right, Miller. What'd you learn?
And she calls out past Wilson. Rye.
Yeah.
Rye, can you come check this out?
Oh my god. Every time a coconut. What is it?
And she just hits a key, and what you all hear in that room is just like a garbled transmission. It's clearly some kind of transmission from another ship. You can hear voices, but no words are really coming through. Nothing that really makes any kind of sense. And on the screen you can see that the words distress call.
What? Distress call from where? We're in the middle of bumfluff nowhere. Where the heck is this distress call coming from?
Okay.
Davis is going to step away from the bridge, by the way, and head further back into the ship.
Hey, Miller, if you want, he's going to reach into his pocket, whip out his access card. You could run the old corporate decrypt on that if you want. What do you say?
She sort of steps back. She to give Wilson sort of access to the terminal.
All right.
By all means.
Right. Do you want to help me with this? It's been a while. I can swipe it, but you're going to have to do the old boop.
Give it the old boopa boop.
Yeah. Is that all right?
At the boop boops.
Got the boop boop.
Wilson's going to swipe his access card and, 2 index pointer fingers type in his access key.
Eagle technique.
Okay. Over to you, right? Do your thing.
Right, can you give me another Comtech roll?
Yes.
Okay, great. 2 successes. Well, this is a great time to have a look at what happens if you get more than 1 success, I guess. For a
You an alien.
That's it. You become the alien.
Good night, everybody.
Comtech. So, with for any extra success that you get, you can gain a +1 modification to a skill roll later. That might involve Comtech, so you can pocket that for later. Or you can just use it as an instant win for a similar challenge in the future. So if you need to use Comtech on the Montero again, it will just be an instant win. Or you can do it quickly in half the time it would normally take. You can get new or unexpected information if I have some, or you can just sort of show off. So you can kind of decide what you want to do with that extra success, but you have succeeded.
I might pocket it for later.
Yeah, okay, cool. The information that Mother gets back is that it looks like wherever this message has come from, it's trying to triangulate it, and it seems to be getting closer. Not on a crash course or anything with the Montero, but it is coming closer at a slowish speed. In space, it's all relative, right?
Wilson will just look over to Miller.
Okay, Miller's runs back in calling for Davis. Davis, it's somewhere out in front of us.
Davis is going to unfortunately head away from the med lab back towards the bridge to see what all the yelling's about. What's ahead of us?
There's some kind of ghost ship, some transmission from some vessel. It's completely garbled, but it's getting closer. It's on
Oh crap, hold on. Yep, settles in, tries to pull up scanners to check distances and adjust speed so that we don't actually hit anything. Is this your Kronos there, Wilson?
That'd be great, right? I don't know.
Wouldn't it?
with a distress call.
Yeah.
I don't know how great.
Well, it went missing 73 years ago, and they have that automated low power thingy. We all got those in the ship, so you know, let's can you like zoop it in there and see how it goes?
All we're getting is this repeating SOS signal that is playing from the back room from Mother's terminal now. And we're looking out. You're looking out now into the depths of space out the front of the bridge of this vessel, and it's just black. It's just black. Davis, can you kick on those floodlights?
Yeah. Beep boop. Flick.
And on the front of the Montero is just these insane number of industrial lamps that just kick on. And what we can see moving slowly towards us, but it's going to go past us eventually, is the US CSS Cronus, the Heliodus class spacecraft. It's a monster. It's absolutely enormous. And as soon as the floodlights kick on, we can hear Mother's voice coming in from the back room. It's informing the crew that a salvage operation is mandated by company rules. These are the priorities. 1. Recover scientific data and samples from the US CSS Cronus. 2. Escort the salvage Cronus to Anchorhead or another WY facility. 3. Save crew members on the Cronus. And she just repeats that one more time. But it looks like the Cronus is just going to just pass us by. It's moving at a decent rate. Like, it's slow for space, but it's going to require some decent piloting.
Yeah, Davis is going to adjust the vectors to try and get us alongside and moving at a similar pace.
Okay, give us a piloting check, please.
Ooh.
I want to try and relax Davis while she's doing this maneuver. I'm just going to stand behind her and just like gently rub her shoulders. And this isn't the first time that Cham's done this. It's like we have a rapport where this is okay. This isn't like just out of nowhere harassment. Yeah. Like,
You can do this, Davis. You can do this. You're a very good pilot.
Give me an
And,
extra.
I know.
Give me an extra D6 just for.
Just a
The
decent-
dulcet tones of Cham.
I would like to
Let
push
the
that though.
strong
Can I?
hands guide you.
It's like this is my jam, and this ship is making me look bad.
Yeah. You can tell while you're sort of like doing your best to pilot it, getting the trajectories not quite as simple as you were hoping, but with this floodlights like lighting up the ship now, you are close enough to see that there seems to be no running or interior lights on this ship. There seems to be nothing. It looks to be completely like dead in space. Yes, you're welcome to push. Give us. Okay, yeah. You're basically looking to brace for collision with that roll. So give us a push. So a push means you re-roll all of the dice that didn't succeed last time. But the one thing it doesn't automatically do is it should have also added a stress dice. So I think it adds it on your character sheet afterwards. So just give us another 1d6. And if this is a 1, It's not. Okay.
Hey.
You're all good. You do not fail that roll. Perfect. Do you want to describe what you do to sort of keep the Montero alongside the moving Cronus?
Yeah, so with it coming at us, Davis, kind of ignoring the fact that this is a commercial freighter, puts on a hard thrust. Instead of slowing down, like puts a hard thrust on one side just to try and effectively handbrake the Montero around. So I mean, everyone's kind of feeling this push through, and then once she manages to get it more aligned, just again maybe over thrusts to correct, really pushing this thing through its paces to try and bring it along.
Okay, great. I think you're at
There's a nicer way of doing it, but
Yeah. You've aligned the ships as well so that should we want to try and connect to their the ship through their airlock, you've kind of aligned our airlock with theirs, and we're just drifting now alongside them in space. The Montero is a ship. No, the Montero is outfitted with a passageway, like umbilical passageway, that needs to be it's about 10 meters long, and it needs to be used to connect one airlock to another. But it can only that connection needs to be done via a spacewalk. So you're at the point, yeah.
That's me out of character going, of course we need to do a space.
And I think Miller just looks to Cham. It's like, Cham, we need you to lift.
What are you looking at me for? I mean, I'm ready to help.
Yeah.
hope you had a good breakfast, buddy.
I had the space cheese and the gruel.
That gruel settles nicely, right? God.
Who's the other roughneck? Right. So I think we're going to need Cham and Rye to possibly head out. Miller is already sort of piecing things together. She's like, we've got the cutting torch just in case there's anything. We've got a couple of compression suits that we can get you guys into. I think that's probably all we're going to need.
Okay, so for that, do we then load up like the air as a consumable?
Yeah. So the suits come with an air supply of 5.
Oh no.
And depending on what you do, you will have to roll air supply. So depending if you do something strenuous, you roll for air supply, and if you succeed, any successes come off your air supply. So you use up your air supply. I think it's success. It might be fails, but I think it's using the standard dice, not the stress dice. So I think it's successes.
Sorry, where are we keeping track of this on the?
Yeah, on your character sheet. So if you bring up your
bottom left.
Again,
Oh no, there's air. Sorry.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, and can we check dehydrated off? Sweet coffee?
We will be able to do it. It's after a shift, so after about 4 to 6
okay.
hours, we can tick that off.
I'll put that back.
So definitely keep your dehydration on for the moment.
Cool kids are dehydrated kids. And air was 5?
I thought he said 50.
50? I don't mind having 50 air compared to 5.
No,
So
just
full of air.
5. So I think Cham and Rye understand like the struggles that can go into connecting this umbilical. Hopefully, all going well.
Sorry, I've done something wrong.
You just rolled for air. That's right.
I rolled 5 like an idiot.
That's all good. So all going well. It's just a matter of using the big lever to extend the umbilical and see it go across and connect. All going well. That's all that's going to be needed. But you know that it doesn't always work out that way. And if things don't align, then you might need to get a bit closer and get a bit more hands-on with the connection for the rest of us.
Okay. And that's heavy machinery pulling the lever?
Heavy machinery is pulling the lever, yeah. So do you want to detail like Cham and Rye putting on these big suits and heading out?
Yeah, so Cham thinks of Cham and Rye, like whether they are or aren't is I'll leave that up to Moji, but Cham thinks that they are like the Bash Brothers from the Mighty Ducks, like these two
100%.
big tough, like big tough characters who are just like, yeah, we're all bash and smash and nobody gets in our way kind of thing. So when Cham's putting on his spacesuit, he's thinking of like he's prepping for a chest bump.
Oh,
and he's like
yes.
80% sure it's going to be reciprocated.
No. Full once the suit is fully on, it's like forearm, chest bump, and then we go out.
On your character sheets as well, under armor, you can just type compression suit, add the number 2 is your armor rating, which goes in the little box next to whatever you name it.
Compression suit.
And the weight is 1. And that's your protection at this point.
Yeah, so it was weight 1 and it was value 2.
Armor rating of 2 and a weight
in
of
the
1.
top right, is it?
Yeah.
That cute little cube.
Yeah.
2.
Sweet.
Oh, armor, save me from the aliens.
You're still feeling
Let me zip you up.
The zips are in the front. Thanks, buddy. It's like you can get the buckles. Do it. Yeah, great.
So you guys both head to the airlock in your suits. Miller has handed you a cutting torch as well, just in case. Like, if anything goes wrong, it's always good to have a cutting torch. And it's had to be used in the past for this kind of stuff, so it's good to have.
Okay. Yeah, I am maxed out on heavy machinery. It's like the thing that Cham is good at. So, yeah, I would try and politely gesture to Rye that like I'll handle this part with the lever.
Yeah, no problem. I'll be here defending you with this blowtorch.
If the lever gives me attitude, you know what to do.
Yes.
All right, well, give us a heavy machinery roll.
Yep, I hit the button and it didn't do nothing.
Hit the square next to it. I had that problem.
Don't click with like the number. Hit the word heavy machinery.
The words.
Yeah, I did. What is going on? Why are you not rolling for me? Why are you not doing that? I'll just roll 8. I'll just roll 8d6.
Oh yeah, please.
Oh, it doesn't let me roll 8d6. This. Oh no, here we go. Cool. No success. Oh my god.
Well.
Oh, the lever is too big for me.
This is your thing, and
It's okay, buddy. It's okay. You want me to come over? You softened it up. You need me to come in and help?
I'll hold the torch.
I think you pull the lever, and it sends out the umbilical, but it just doesn't align right. It just sort of slams against the side of the Cronus, just a little off, so it doesn't quite latch.
I blame the pilot.
I blame the
Just
corp.
kidding. Just kidding. She's amazing.
Who the heck puts the lever on the outside of the ship? I don't understand.
I think that's fair.
Okay, heavy machinery?
Well, at this point, I think
We're going to try again?
you're probably going to need to, if you want to take some time, it might take a little
Wind
bit
it
of time,
back in again.
but you've got to get the umbilical back before sending it back out. So you're welcome to give that It's not, by the way, it's an umbilical passageway. It's not just like a small rope, right? It's
Oh,
like a,
I thought this was like
Made of human
like-
flesh.
It's like a cord, and then they use that, and then the thing goes across. Okay, no,
yeah.
cool.
So you've
And
got
then you
to
get it
wait.
and it goes on its own way.
Yeah, so you've got to like pull back on the lever and wait for it to back
Right.
to the ship, and everyone outside on the bridge is like watching this and it's just like, missed it again. Cham, he's never quite got the timing. He's never quite got the timing. It's okay. And the umbilical passageway is now back, so you're welcome to give that another roll. But I would always suggest that whoever's got the most, and it even suggests in the book, whoever's got the proficiency in that skill to give it a go. So if
Okay.
how many dice have you got for heavy machinery?
For heavy machinery, because you include the strength, right? So I've got 5. So I'm pretty sure he's got more than me.
Yeah. I'm just gonna check. Your...
I'll be like, come on, Cham. Give it another go. You softened it up. Let's go.
Yeah. I'd
You can
say
do it.
We could think of this as the pushed roll, basically.
Yeah, I'll push it, right? Because it does say in the rules that you can't try the same thing twice.
Yeah.
So I'll push the roll, and the narrative can be that this is the second try.
Yeah. Okay. So this is so give us another 8d6.
Oh,
It actually worked that time.
I pushed it, and I got zilch.
Okay. By the way, by pushing
Statistically,
the roll, you've upped your stress levels by 1. So on your character sheet, you should see that. Can you just give me another 1d6? And this is just to see if there's any sort of panicking involved.
yep. Is that just a manual 1d6?
Just give us, yeah.
Oh no!
Okay, well, I need to bring up some information now. This is great. This is perfect.
Oh, Cham's going to die in space today.
All right, let me bring up some information about what we need to do.
A learning
They always say
opportunity, Cham.
Every spacewalk can be your last. They always say it.
Man, okay, we're gonna find exactly where in this book. Actually, what's gonna be the easiest way?
Rye, why didn't you pull the freaking lever?
Reeled it in for you, man. I reeled it in.
Yes, I know. You did your best.
This is your thing. This is your jam.
All right, so we can.
You're a good teammate.
I'll go over
Davis
some.
is like $10. He doesn't do it this time either.
Yeah, everyone's like, wait, we can't see where Cham is,
Yeah.
but we're seeing like we saw the passageway sort of disappear back, and we're like, he's gonna give it another go, isn't he?
Yeah, actually, just re-looking at my sheet, I have a talent of True Grit.
Oh,
I can push any skill roll based on strength twice.
Okay. So,
So I can
theoretically, you've done
push it again.
So theoretically, you've done it. So just say you can push it twice, so you can risk and you gain a stress for each one.
Yep.
Okay. Well, first of all, we need to deal with the fact that you did roll a 1 on this push, and then you're welcome to give it a go. So basically, with panicking, as long as you keep your stress in check, you can use it to your advantage, which is like you risk getting more 6s, right? So you can actually make it work for you. But if it goes too strong, your stress can explode, sending you into a wild panic. You need to make a panic roll when any of the following happens. You roll 1 or more 1s on your stress dice in a skill roll. If that happens, you can't push the skill roll except for you, which is what we've done. So we need to roll. Can you give me a d6, please?
Yep. Another one.
Okay, well that's good. So we just add we add your panic on top of that. So it's a d6 plus your stress that we add together. So you've rolled a 2 on the panic table, and that means you're keeping it together despite the stress. You've managed to push through this fear of fucking up in front of everyone.
Cham, breathe.
Yeah, and you managed
Breathe.
to keep your nerves in check, barely.
Still got 5 air.
So you can push it again if you want.
Yeah, I think I will. I guess because I'm really feeling the pressure. We're out in the spacewalk. This isn't working. This has to work so the mission can happen.
Well, there's always
So,
the opportunity of you can basically help guide it along yourself instead of relying on it, and that will be like a mobility roll. So it's kind of like space walking across to try and connect it up manually.
Okay. Well, I hit heavy machinery one more time as the final push, and it didn't do anything. Why is it doing that?
Didn't bode well,
here
does
we
it?
are.
Davis is like, would it be wrong if I twisted the ship while he's doing that? It probably would. Maybe I shouldn't.
There was a
Could be
success
funny,
in
though.
there.
There was a success, but there was also... Oh, no, that's right. That's not a
Yep.
1. So that's fine. You're good. You
And
succeeded.
I need to add... Did that include my stress die? There's the
included-
two
There's the orange
at the
one.
end, right?
Right. Roll one more.
Yeah.
One more stress die.
Why? Oh, because I just gained one more.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, phew.
Okay, great. This time, feel free to sort of describe what happens.
Yeah. So, yeah, Cham looks into the eyes of his buddy Rye, who's giving him this really positive affirmation, and just says, "You're right. You're always right." And then just looks at the lever and says, "Oh, we're going to make beautiful music together." And then he just throws his whole body into the pull. He doesn't even look at the other ship. Like, this isn't timing. This isn't like watching for the right moment. This is just like letting fate decide. And it shoots out the umbilical, and it just hits the right spot with a very satisfying all flying, just like thunk right on the spot, and it locks in.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. There's like a... you don't know, but like the crew within the bridge are just like celebrating, like, yay! They did it. It's great.
Except for the ones that lost a bet.
yeah. That's good.
Yeah, buddy, you put the Cham in champion.
And Miller's going to turn to Wilson and say, like, so what are we expecting over there?
I'll keep my tablet out here and just make sure there's... Oh shit, okay. Miller, do you want to just come with me to the office for a minute? There's a few bits of paperwork we need to attend to.
Okay.
And Wilson's going to walk down the corridor quicker than you'd expect him to, and realize there isn't an office, but maybe just duck into the med lab.
Yeah. Let's pop into the med lab. What's up, Wilson?
All
What's going
right,
on?
so we've got an amendment to Order 966, and they've got special order in there this time. That's always...
Yeah.
And
it's very important. It's close to 1,000. I get it.
You got it. And they've addressed it to me. That's my name at the top. And there's a little scratch at the top of my tablet, but you don't need to worry about it because like most of the content's in the middle. You can just read it like
What
that.
are we expecting from
All
that
right.
ship?
So the contents of the Cronus is so important that we're going to swap ships and take the Cronus back. Montero, yeah, it's got some fuel on it, but they'll send another ship to figure that out. But Kronos, oh, sugar me clean. That is a lot of data and content.
So you're telling me we're just going to leave the Montero and all of its cargo?
You got it. It is just a blip on a budget chart that no one cares about. But the Cronus, ooh, that's worth taking.
Sitting dead out there.
But we've got a crew, people. They can repair the thingies. And I'd love your assistance on this one. That would be really appreciated. And just quietly, like, we haven't seen eye to eye at some point, but this is career material for yourself and myself. So,
Mother said we needed to save the crew members, if there's any crew members on there.
of course.
Recover any data and samples, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, my special order's got samples in there as well.
Perfect.
A little bit more specific than the old general mothery do. Xenomorphic samples. So, we'll take those as well. But we're taking the whole ship, so we're going to secure the lot. Right.
Mother said we could just escort this, so we could get it up and running and maybe just escort it back.
You see, I like your thoroughness. My addendum also says all other priorities rescinded. So, we're going to take the whole Kronos, scoop it back. We'll worry about the Montero another day, when another crew can figure that out. And there's only one other addendum to this amendment I haven't mentioned to you, but let's hope that doesn't need to come up.
What is it?
Well, why do people say that and then not release it? Others I've just told you, right? So, I'll release that if we need to, but corporate.
You said xenomorphic.
Xenomorphic material. So you see, you didn't get that from Mother, even when I swiped it for you in the thing. So yeah, there's going to be Xeno junk. It was a science ship. Makes sense, right? They're studying space potatoes or whatever.
Okay. Just,
All right.
Wilson, between you and me,
Mm-hmm.
and she's getting like in Wilson's face. Between you and me, Wilson, do not tell the rest of the crew that we're leaving the Montero, okay? Just, we're going on board. We're going to check it out. From their point of view, we're just going to be checking it out and doing what Mother said. We're going to try and find this data. But if this is what Wayland Yutani wants, then we'll leave the Montero.
All right. Yeah, I'm happy for you to roll it however you want to roll it. Like, this crew can also come back and pick the Montero up next time, so fine by me.
No one has given Cham and Rye orders to come back in from the spacewalk, so we're just hanging outside having like a dance-off in 0G.
Okay, all right. Miller gets to the comm section of the bridge, and actually, she would never do this. She would say, "Davis, can you make sure everyone's back on bridge as soon as possible, please?"
Yep. And Davis is looking a little more relaxed than before. Maybe come to terms with the thing, or maybe it's the fact that whilst everyone else was out of the bridge, she took the little lucky rabbit's foot on the necklace that she has and unscrewed the top, took out one of the little contents, popped that under her tongue, screwed it back on again. She's like, "You want them back in?" Yo, hits the intercom. Cham, Rise, home time.
Playtime's over. Let's get back to it.
There's like awkward silence until Cham and Rye return to the bridge. Are you guys still suited up, or have you just come straight to the bridge? Like, what's the situation with Cham and Rye?
Yeah,
We're
I don't know about
dancing
Rye,
back
but yeah, Cham always assumes that any order any order of like come to us is urgent and should be followed. Like okay, like that we do that, and then we, if we need to.
Okay,
So
he's fully suited up.
cool.
Thank you, Cham.
Rye's theory is that everything is urgent, therefore nothing is urgent. So
So she's taking
we're
her time.
just going.
Cham showed up first in full
Are
suit.
we like tethered together for security? Because it'll be like Cham busting into the ship and like Rye is tied on. It's like, her name was Lola. She was a showgirl.
That's good. Bring like singing a song from like 150 years ago. This is great. It's managed
Typical
to
music
Yeah,
never
yeah, yeah.
dies, man. Never
Absolutely.
dies.
Rolling. I remember 2003.
The moment you guys get into the bridge, Miller, it's just been quiet on the bridge, which has probably been a little awkward for Davis, I think.
Davis is just like,
Oh, he's cool. She's cool. All right.
just waiting for everyone to get back.
What's Wilson doing during this? Is he's? Yeah, you tell me.
So Wilson's gone back to the food vending machine, and he's done a bit of maths, and he's come back with 6 candy bars. And he's just being quiet and just trying to do some mental math. But yeah, he's just standing with the 6 candy bars and just looking to Miller to run the rest of it.
All right, yeah. So the rest of the Cham and Rye show up in the bridge, and instantly she says, "Keep the suits on. Davis, Wilson, we need to suit up. And there's just like this serious tone as she just walks out of the room towards where the suits and gear is stored. And she's in there and instantly starts suiting up in a similar suit to what Cham and Rye are wearing, just this Mark 50 compression suit. Gets herself 5 air supply. Let's just add that on. And not only that, but she starts opening drawers and reveals just a bunch of the gear that this the Montero is known to have, just for any of our, just whatever might happen. Obviously, the cutting torch is still with Rye, but we can see that there's like a motion tracker, a bolt gun, a service pistol, grappling gun, like a harpoon grappling gun, a couple of incinerator units,
Cool.
and a power loader. Which the fuck is a power loader?
It's like a
the
forklift
thing?
person. Yeah.
Well,
Oh my gosh.
That won't be in the
Yes.
drawer. I don't think that's in the drawer.
The keys to it are in the drawer.
yeah.
It's like a gunpla.
It's like, wait a minute, where is it? There it goes.
Oh, yeah, the power loader. Okay, the power loader is... Yeah, okay, that's massive. That's not in the drawer. There is keys to that in the drawer. But that isn't going to, fit down the umbilical passageway. So that's probably going to stay on here, should we need it, on the Montero. And she, getting into the suit, grabs the service pistol. And she's just making sure it's... loaded and ready to go, and grabs the one other magazine for it, and she just starts. It's very serious. What do the others do while seeing Miller being this fast and moving into action?
So Davis would normally give shit, but seeing Davis is suddenly coldly serious is kind of sobering, and so goes and helps Miller, just checks off a couple of those latches and zips, and pats on the shoulder that you're good, and then starts getting changed as well. It's mood dropped in here.
Yeah, Miller turns to Wilson and says, "Well, why don't you tell them what the new mission is?"
Mission?
I'd like to just give out these candy bars first, because those the G levels, you want them just, I don't know. Here's the candy bars from the company, not my personal fund that's nearly empty at all. And order 966. Who remembers? Big numbers, little numbers. Which order do we want?
Big numbers.
Numbers. We're gonna take the Kronos back because it's amazing. Got heaps of good stuff on it. More important than that, fuel. I thought that fuel was worth a lot of coins, but not compared to science stuff. So, that's what's going to happen.
Miller just cuts Wilson
Miller, did I
short.
cover it all?
So we're going to suit up. We're going to head over there. We're going to take a look for crew, if there's any in there. We're going to look for some of these scientific thingies that Wilson and WY need so badly. And then once we got that, we can get it back on board, and we head back home.
What if it doesn't have the fuel?
We gotta do that fixing stuff. I don't know how that works, but
We're not going to worry. We're just going to find the stuff, bring it back to the Montero, and we're heading home. And she just darts a look at Wilson.
Oh yeah. The candy bars, and you can eat the candy bars whenever you want. Thank you, Miller.
Everyone
Cham
gives
tries to
themselves-
eat his straight away, but he's got his helmet on, so he's just pushing it into the helmet.
I forgot.
Wait,
time.
wait a minute, buddy. You got a little something right there.
Your mustache.
Those who haven't smushed their candy bar into a paste on their suit can give themselves a one food supply.
I still have half a one. So.
Yeah. I'll let you just put the full one, I think. It might
Yay.
come in handy.
Food one.
I has a
Davis.
question.
Oh, yeah.
What?
All right.
Why are you bringing this gun? I mean, this thing's been floating out in space for years. None of the lights are on. This thing is dead in the water. If the crew are still alive, they're in the pods. Why are we bringing the gun?
And if they're not alive?
We still don't need a gun on them.
No, but
Yeah.
we need to figure out what killed them. If there's anything hostile on board, we just got to make sure. This Montero.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
The
I
Montero.
imagine time killed them.
Maybe.
Are we gonna shoot time? We're
Maybe.
gonna shoot time.
Look, honestly, that would be the ideal situation, I think, moving forward.
Oh, yeah.
But realistically, I've just got a gun because I am the commanding officer. I need to make sure that my crew is safe.
I am not paid enough to go hunting zombies.
We're not.
Or whatever you think you're going to be doing with that gun.
I mean, if you look, I can leave the gun here if that's going to make you feel safe. Or we could maybe just take some precautions. Cham, I know you like lifting things, and she hands over like the bolt gun into Cham's like arms.
Oh, now we're talking. Cham likey.
Shoots bolts.
And it's got like 4 bolts.
So is that
ready to go?
Just that's a long range weapon, is it?
Can
And it's
find you.
based on the word gun. I'm assuming a lot.
Actually, it's more of a pistol-sized bolt gun. So I'll show that.
There's a ranged combat button.
Like a nail gun?
Yeah.
So there you go. If you take a look at that, that has
nice.
has the stats that you need. So it's normally for construction use. It's more for like making emergency hull repairs, but it could also be an improvised weapon thanks to how fast it can shoot those bolts. If you at the bottom you can add that into your weapons. It's also, because being a bolt gun, it also is armor piercing, so it sort of cuts in half any armor rating.
I wrote bolt fun. I was wondering if I could have just like a big wrench or something.
There's probably some. I reckon you can absolutely chuck a wrench on there as well for sort of close combat if you want, or for throwing.
Oh yeah.
Probably just damage of 1, and the range would be close. So you're absolutely welcome to have a range.
Cool. That's me.
She's looking down at sort of the rest of what's in there. Davis. What do you think? And she's sort of looking down at like this harpoon gun, like laid out in front of them.
I mean,
Davis, you just gotta trust me on this. She sort of lowers her voice. You just have to trust me on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I trust you. It's just, you said there was some kind of some sciencey thing on there. Like, what was it that we're bringing back? What do we think? Like, level with me here.
It's just some scientific data that we're going to be pulling from their files, as well as just some samples.
Yeah, like samples of what though?
Give me an observation roll as she tells you. Like, we don't know. All I know is that Mother has told us there's some samples.
Okay. Yep. Okay, if you say trust you on this, I'll trust you on this, okay? But I don't trust that guy. Like, side-eyeing Wilson.
Yeah. Just, you know what? Keep that in mind. I don't trust him either.
And I'll hold on to this.
Cool.
Picks up the harpoon gun.
Yeah. Feel free to add that into your inventory as well. What else have we got here? Wilson, she just grabs the motion tracker in one hand and just slams it against Wilson's chest. Wilson, you get that.
What the hell is this?
Okay, so this
is it a printer?
And it's a standard motion tracker. You can turn it on and get readings for any sort of motion that might be around you at any given time. And
Is it for parties?
This is just hopefully will help us find where life signs.
Oh yeah, crew. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. And she sees the cutting torch in Rye's hands. You're okay. You know how to use that. Like if you need to, like, use it.
But she's the best. She'll cut anything.
We'll cut anything. Yes.
Okay.
I don't get anything more distancy.
What else is there? There is the incinerator unit that is standing there. There's it's a decent looking thing. It's got like two extra. It's got like a tank of gas that's already like loaded into it, ready to go. And there's two other little tanks next to it as well. Miller says, "I mean, well, you didn't really. Just take it. Just take that."
Excellent.
Look, I know it doesn't make sense. I know. But when have I let you guys down? Just, you need to trust me on this. Okay? So I've just sort of made that available as well. Feel free to chuck that into your weapons
Thank you.
tab at the bottom.
Oh.
And feel free to read over. It might have... any target hit by an incinerator also catches fire. Intensity 9, whatever intensity 9 means. I'm going to say that's like burn level 9.
You want it close to a 10?
Bigger numbers are better numbers.
Hey, corporate!
And so with the crew all like suited up now, including Wilson, all standing there, Chum... I'm calling him Chum now, not Cham. Chum slamming his like wrench into his hand. Service pistol on the hip of Miller. They all head to the airlock as it opens up, decompresses. The room decompresses. The airlock opens up, and we all just for a moment head into 0G, into the darkness of the passageway ahead of us. And that's where we're going to end tonight. That's where we're going to wrap it up tonight. Just as we head over towards the Montero. Cool.
Off the Montero.
Sure. I'm sure it's just tea and
Chronos.
biscuits.
Onto the Chronos. I keep getting to, for some reason, I always just think of, I'll get it right, like in the last section.
Does anyone else think that the left-hand side of the ship's map looks like a robot gorilla with a giraffe head?
A robot
Seeing
gorilla with
massive
a
shoulders, I have to
Yes.
say.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, totally.
I've also
I was
noticed...
so distracted by that.
Just the
I
whole
was
game.
looking at this tiny thing at the bottom called Daisy.
Yeah, so I didn't mention it because it wasn't overly relevant at the time, but all of your characters are very aware that down in the cargo bay, alongside all of the gas canisters that are slowly turning into helium-3, there is a small kind of like cargo lifter. It's just for delivering things short distances between ships. Yeah.
Cham
So
is very jealous of Daisy because Daisy lifts things way better than Cham does.
How did you guys find that so far?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good feedback.
Thumbs up.
Yes. I mean, personally, I like trying things, new systems. Like I'm a information guy normally, so learning new systems I think is really interesting. And then Aliens is such a cool franchise itself. I mean, Alien and Aliens, and then there's other movies which are, but those first two are great.
First two are fantastic.
Classics for different reasons. So I'm really loving trying this, and the Year Zero engine, which is what this is based on, is like in so many different games.
Yeah, now I got to do
But all
this
slightly different.
Before I forget, I need to remember that there is actually XP to be given out at the end of every session. But I don't know if...
we have to answer questions. Classic Free League.
I don't know if it's in the starter set, or if it's in the...
I've got the core rulebook up.
Oh, you've got that there?
Hang on. XP, where does that appear? That appears 59 times.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's not in the starter set, so it must just
Session.
be... I was meant to...
They tend to be pretty early in the books as well, around character creation.
Yeah, like progression or something.
Yeah. I'll let you find that. It sounds like you've got a couple more to flick through out of the 59 mentions. But it's a good time as well to remind people that we will be giving away 3 versions of the starter set, which is very cool. We'll give one away to a Patreon supporter. So if you're not currently supporting us on Patreon, please do pop over there and support us. Every single coin that we get from our supporters goes into something else, like buying the starter set or buying the core rulebook, having a Sirenscape subscription so we can make sounds, even though it was pretty subtle tonight. When we play D&D, it goes towards our subscription with D&D Beyond, and of course with Roll20 as well. So everything we get from our supporters goes straight back into the stream. We'll also be giving away a version to anyone who is subscribed to us on YouTube that comments on any of our Learn Alien RPG videos. So once this goes up there, keep an eye on that, leave a comment there, and we'll get a winner there as well. And I assume this is going to be like 3 sessions, probably maybe 4 sessions. So next session, we will give away a copy of the starter set to someone in the Twitch stream. So whether we'll find some way to do a giveaway on Twitch, and we'll do it there. Did I buy you enough time, Brad?
No, I really can't find it. And scrolling a PDF is not working very well for me right now.
I mean, can I just say real quickly, in regards to those copies that we're giving away, thank you very much to Free League themselves.
Yes.
Because we reached out and said, hey, we're doing a Learn to Play of one of your systems. Is there anything that you can do? And they're like, yo, here's some copies to give away, which I think is just amazing.
Yeah, it's very cool. And hopefully by the time we wrap this up, we'll have sold you and not done a terrible job of running this. I think I've been so focused on like the minutiae of all the different things. I was like, all right, how are we going to start this and then do all of the rules at once? And thankfully we didn't have to do all of the rules in one go, which is good.
Experiences on page 35.
Page 35.
Yep.
I think you did a great job of setting the scene and stuff. You know, it's like the start of an Alien movie, right? You've got the crew and they're doing their thing, and each of them have got their own stuff going on, and then a thing happens, and then more movie happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you nailed the vibe.
Okay, well that's good. That's good. It's a completely different setting than I'm used to. I've spent the last 5 years pretty much solely playing D&D with a sprinkling of Call of Cthulhu, but it was good. I enjoyed it. I'm going to really look forward to the next session. I think the next session is going to be fantastic. And I don't know. I've read so many things that are like remove this from it if you're playing it, or add this if you're going to be playing. I'll try and do it just by the book while we're learning it. And even in this book, a certain part of it says only do this thing if blah blah blah. So I think that's the thing most people say, just don't do it. But there seems to be very valid reasons to do it. So I'll just do it by the book. Have I bought you enough time yet, Brad?
No.
Okay.
Computers are
should I run upstairs and grab the hardcover?
Do you want me to read it out?
Computer said no.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you've got it?
Yeah, I've got it up.
Okay.
Sorry.
By the way,
I thought you had a copy of the thing.
Evildoer in the chat says, Alien is an amazing system I've played many times. it's good so far. I think the scenario that we're playing, Chariot of the Gods, I'm so used to how like D&D books and campaigns are written and how they're laid out that this is just so different. And it's like it tells you all of the characters, it gives you all of the descriptions for the different parts of the different ships, and then at the very end of it all, it's like, and here's how to run it. And it's just like, oh, okay. So you kind of have to start at the back and work backwards.
I've got it if needed.
Okay, cool.
Oh, nice.
What
Go
have we
for it.
got?
I will just read the whole blurb. One of the most rewarding things in campaign play is watching your character grow and develop. The harsh realities of life will change you. That's all you can be certain of in an uncertain world. You can develop your character in several different ways during the game. The things you learn during the game are measured in experience points. You receive XP after the end of each game session. Talk it through and let the whole group discuss what has happened. For each of the below questions that you can reply yes to, you get 1 XP.
Cool.
Those questions being, did you participate in the game session?
Okay. Yes, everyone gets like an instant XP point, which is great.
Yay.
So open up your character sheets and give yourselves 1 experience point for showing
Yay.
up. For showing up.
Hooray.
The Kiwi
did
Kid
it.
point.
Yep. Number 2, did you risk or sacrifice something to further your personal agenda?
So this is only something you guys will know for your personal agendas.
Yeah, I didn't risk or sacrifice anything for it.
No,
So.
me neither. Oh, maybe. I'm gonna give myself 1 for that.
How do we rate that? Like,
So it's kind of like a honesty system, right? We don't know what your personal agenda was. If whatever your personal agenda is, you feel like you risked your own life or sacrificed something or someone to gain your agenda, then you get a point. You just tick that box.
when we finish the campaign, do we like, oh, this is my agenda?
Yeah. So
Is that how it works?
at the
It'll
end
be a
of
bit fun.
At the end of Act 1, what happens is you guys all give me back your agenda cards, and I decide, we don't tell anyone what that agenda is. I decide whether or not you get a story point based on how I feel you did for your agenda. And then you'll get a new agenda for the start of Act 2, and at the end of Act 2, we do the same thing. And at the start of Act 3, you'll get another personal agenda, and at the very end of it, we can discuss our agendas.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
so
I
there's-
didn't just go, "Blah!"
Yeah, there's more questions, but there's a clarifying bit after the questions of sometimes the answers are not clear cut. Discuss within the group and try to reach a consensus. If you can't, the GM has final say.
Yeah, when it comes to personal agenda, I don't know yet. So
Yep.
just be honest with that one.
Did you risk your life for your buddy PC?
No.
No one really risked their life yet
No.
for anything.
Nah.
Did you challenge or stand up to your rival? No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't even know I had a rival.
On the left-hand side, under relationships,
Mine's blank.
then you don't have a rival.
My buddy is Rye. Oh, so okay, cool.
You're just like a nice,
Lee.
strong man who likes lifting things. It's very Cham, to be honest.
Yeah. No one thinks of me enough to be my enemy.
Oh,
Did you
wait a
make-
minute, wait a minute.
Did you make a panic roll? I did.
I did.
Nice.
Oh no, I didn't make a panic roll. No, I got panic though. Stress, not panic.
Oh,
I
right,
take it
yeah.
back.
So not stress, but panic roll. So the only one
Yep.
who did that was Cham.
Huzzah! Did you overcome a dangerous event using violent or non-violent means? We didn't really have any dangerous events yet, other than maybe the spacewalk, but not really.
Bathroom
Um,
after
How
cryo.
roughly did you handle that lever?
Oh, I ate that gruel. Did you
Violence.
make Did you make a significant discovery or revelation? Wilson made a revelation.
I would say Rye made a discovery that we were out in the middle of nowhere. So I'd say Rye gets a point for that.
Bumfluff nowhere.
Bump off nowhere.
Nice.
Did you perform an extraordinary action of some kind?
We danced in space.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That is. I'd say that's quite.
The dictionary definition of extraordinary, meaning outside of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, as far as
Although
roleplay goes, I'm gonna.
but we've-
Who
but we've-
suggested
Yeah,
this
do it.
dancing?
But we've done this trip so many times. It's probably not the first time that Cham
Yeah.
and Rye have been outside.
So it's not extraordinary
Yeah.
for the people doing
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've
It's
probably
just-
got like set routines depending on.
Yeah.
Dance until you called back in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the last one is, did you earn any money?
No. Not
No, we
yet.
took on a job that's apparently worth a lot of money, and we got a free meal, but
Yeah.
I don't think we earned any money. Like, no transactions happened.
No.
Getting-
Back to
getting
1
the-
XP.
Getting the HR guy to fork me out more money for the extra trip that we are making for his thing.
Yeah, you increased your
Oh,
potential
yeah.
earnings, but you
There
didn't.
we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's in your pocket?
yeah.
Damn it! No.
Yeah, so that's the final one. So I end up with 2.
3.
Oh,
Single.
two.
Cool. And now I think what I'll do is throughout the week I'll send you a link to what you can spend XP on, but I don't think we have enough points to actually spend it yet. But I would imagine hopefully by the end of next session there will be enough points for us to buy extra talents for your character.
Funeral.
For your funeral. Yeah.
Oh no.
Did anyone use their talents?
I did
Oh yeah, you true
with
grit.
the
Was it?
True Grit. Just getting to push strength stuff twice.
Can you do that as much as you like?
It doesn't specify.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just-
I've got the agility version, and it says just you can roll, just push twice. You just keep getting stress.
Oh, yeah. Which isn't.
I've
that
got
great.
a limit on it. It's once per act.
Ah.
So I still need to lock down how long an act is.
You as a player won't know.
Oh my gosh.
An end of an act could just occur. So, yeah. When something big happens, it's probably going to be the end of an act.
Oh no.
So get it in. Get it in before then.
Get it in. Get it in.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But make it count.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to using pull rank and getting someone to do something they don't want to do.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Wilson. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks guys so much, and thanks to people who dropped by to watch us sort of learn this system. It'll be up on YouTube at some point tomorrow for our Patreon supporters, and then we'll be live for anyone else just before we go live next week with session 2. So assuming everyone's available next week, we can talk about that on our Discord. Hopefully we'll be back next week with session 2. Maybe, I don't know. I don't see it being finished in 3 sessions. Maybe 4 or 5. We'll get it done.
Some of the
45.
characters might be finished in that time, but
Yeah.
maybe not the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, which I should probably mention. The system is built so that if your character dies, you don't just log off and that's it. You've disappeared from the game. There will be, it's kind of a spoiler, but there will be other characters for me to give you. So be prepared to embody a new character at some point because
They'll just be at least 76 years old.
yeah.
We'll just crack open one of the unopened pods in the back.
yeah.
Crack a cold
Open
one.
a cold one with the boys.
Crack open a cold one.
Anyway, yeah, thanks to everybody. Thanks for stopping by and watching. Evildoer, thank you for saying we picked a good scenario that we all did well. Thank you very much. Drop Shadow has already won a million things from us so far, so he'll probably end up winning a copy of the Alien Starter Set as well. Good night, everyone. We'll see you next week at the same time.
Yeah.
Bye.